Hey guys, Gathering Magic back again. Wanted to do a video on how many black foil cards I think they're going to be by the end of Conclave Arcana. So after the pre-sale ends in a few days, then we get through the 300 days of the general sale. How many of these are going to be in circulation? You know, how many commons, rares, epics, all that deal. So let's kind of recap. So these things are max level cards that are going to be randomly inserted in packs. You can double your chance of pulling one using midnight potions. And then your odds of getting them are 1 in 800 for the standard packs, so 1 in 400 if you end up using a midnight potion. Legendaries 1 in 160 packs, or 1 in 80 with potions. And then alchemy is your best chance, as you guys know, 1 in 80 alchemy packs, or 1 in 40 with midnight potions. And then the total number of packs that are going to be available throughout the sale, 5 million standard, 1 million alchemy, and 500,000 legendary packs. So let's look at some different scenarios to just kind of get different estimates of how many cards there'll be. So number one is the most bullish, and this is not going to happen, but just so that you have the maximum number of cards that could be available, every pack sells. So we sell out the pre-sale, and every day we sell enough cards so that none get burnt, and the sale ends early. Like I said, this is not going to happen, but this will tell you the maximum number of cards that would be possible. And of course, it's going to be less from there. So every pack sells. Midnight potions are used even on every standard pack. So for your standard packs, there's 5 million. If you've got one every 400 packs, that's going to be another 12,500 black foil cards. Legendaries, all 500,000 sell. With midnight potions, that would be another 6,250. All million alchemy packs sell. Everybody uses potions, so it's 1 in 40 odds, so you get another 25,000 there. So you're looking at a total possible of 43,750 black foil cards total. But now, how many are there going to be of each rarity? Well, if you look at a normal pack, your odds are 75.2% for a common, 20% for a rare, 4% for an epic, and then 0.8% for a legendary. But remember, what most people, if not everyone, is going to use legendary potions. And what those do is they double your chances of not just legendary cards, but also epics. So now the numbers that I'm going to use for this example is for commons, you're going to get a common about 70% of the time, a rare 20% of the time, epic 8% of the time, and then legendary 1.6. So if we use these odds, what you're going to end up seeing is for your commons, you're going to end up with about 30,800 total common black foil cards. Now there's 24 in the set, so that means there'd be just under 1,300 of each common. For your rares, there's 29 rares in the set, so you're going to end up with 302. Your epics, 14, so about 250 of each epic. And then your legendaries, once all the airdrops are done and all the legendaries are out, there should be 24, so you're going to look at about 29 of each legendary card. Okay, like I said, that's the most bullish scenario, and that is not going to happen because you guys know there's going to be packs burnt. So let's just say half. We sell half of everything across the board. So we sell 2.5 million standard packs, 250,000 legendary, 500,000 alchemy. This, I think, also is extremely bullish. I don't expect this to happen, and at the end of the video, I'll give you my estimates. But, you know, if we sell half, of course, all the numbers are half. So now you're looking at 642 of each common, just over 150 of each rare, 125 of each epic, and then 14 or 15 of each legendary card. And once again, I think this is not going to happen. I think it's going to be fewer than that. I don't think we sell half of all of these just because of the daily burn. Okay, let's look at scenario 3, and this is kind of the most bearish. Almost nothing sells. Like, we've basically spent what we're going to spend in the pre-sale. We have a little bit of a run at the end of the pre-sale, but then after that, people are tapped out. Most of the packs end up getting burned. Nobody uses midnight potions for the standard packs. You know, we're going to assume people are still going to use them for the legendary and alchemy, but for the standard packs, people think it's just not worth it. So what I think would sell in the worst case scenario, we only sell maybe 150,000 in the standard. And then for the standard packs going forward for the general sale, I would say 90% get burned. Because if we don't hit that threshold every day, like for standard packs, it's like 15,000 have to sell every day. Anything under 15,000 gets burnt. So you're going to have days where you only sell, a few hundred packs, while you're going to have like 14,000 and some packs burned every day. So these are the numbers here. So let's say 90% of the packs are burned. You're only going to sell another 450,000. So just for the standard packs, we're looking at 600,000 packs sold. Compare that to Rebellion, where we sold 1 million. This may actually not be that far off because people are going to spend a lot of their money on the Alchemy and Legendary. So here's 600,000 packs for standard sell. Legendary, I think we've sold 8,000, 9,000 at this point. Let's just say we get to 15,000, and this might be a little bit of a stretch, but 15,000 sell in pre-sale. Once again, 90% of them are burned for the general sale, so we only sell another 45,000. So out of the 500,000 total, we only sell 60,000 legendary packs. Alchemy, I think, are going to still do well, even in the most bearish scenario. Let's say we only sell 60,000. I think we're going to do more than that. But 60,000 sell in the pre-sale, and let's just say 20% of the Alchemy packs sell during the course of the sale. So you're going to look at about another 90,000. So altogether, about 150,000 Alchemy packs sell. Now, running those numbers, once again, we're not going to use midnight potions for standard packs, so it's 1 in 800. You're looking at 750 total black foils for the standard packs, with only 600,000 selling. Legendary, you're looking at, once again, about 750 black foils for the legendaries, and then Alchemy, you're looking at 3,750. So altogether, in a real bearish scenario, you're looking at 5,250 total black foil cards, which would come out to just over 150 of each common, 36 of each rare, 30 of each epic, and 3, maybe 4 of each legendary. Okay, number 4 scenario is just kind of my estimate where I think we're going to end up. I think we're going to end up selling probably 175,000 in the pre-sale. Maybe we get a huge rush and get to 200,000. But I still think a lot of people are going to gravitate towards the legendary and alchemy and not go as heavy into standard. So my guess is going to be 175,000 is what we're going to sell in the pre-sale. The general sale, I think we're going to sell a little bit, maybe over 10%. So I put in 500,000 for that. So you're looking at 675,000 packs for standard. Legendary, I think we get to about 15,000 for legendary in the pre-sale, and 50,000 in the general sale, so you're looking at 65,000 packs there. Alchemy, I think we hit 80,000, maybe 90,000 by the end of the pre-sale. General sale, I think I went with around 20%, something like that, for the general sale overall. But just that daily burn is just going to eat up so much of the supply. So total there, I think we sell over 250,000 packs, about maybe 260,000. So once again, I'm going to say we're not going to really use midnight potions for the standard. So if we sell 675,000 packs, that's going to be 844 black foils. Legendary, if we sell 65,000, you're looking at 812. And then alchemy, everybody uses midnight potions. We sell 260. You're looking at 6,500. So altogether, I think we're going to have a little over 8,000 black foils, between 8,000, 8,200, somewhere in that range. Now, if you run those numbers, you're looking at about 239 of each common, 56 of each rare, 47 of each epic, and then get this, only 5 of each legendary. So I think this is very likely that, the black foil arcanes are 1 of 1. I think just the normal black foils are going to be pretty close to that. You're only going to have a handful. So let's do a summary of just all scenarios, just so you guys can kind of see it in a little bit of an easier chart. So this is the common if everything sells. This is the column if like half sell. This is the column for, bear market. People are tapped out, not very many sell. And then just kind of my estimate, and then kind of a range realistically of what we're going to have. So like I said, if everything sells, which isn't going to happen, 12, almost 1,300 commons. So half sell, 650. The bear market, 150. I'm saying about 239. So I think for your commons, you're going to have between 200 and 250 is a pretty good estimate of how many they're going to be at the end of the sale. Rares, 300 if everything sells, 150 if half sell, of course. Not very many sell, most are burnt. You're looking at 36. I'm seeing 56, so I think a good range is 50 to 75. Your epics, if everything's sold, 250, 125 if half sell. The bear market, 30 of each epic. And then my estimate is, 47, close to 50. So, right in that 40 to 60 range. And then legendaries. If everything sells, there's only going to be 29 of each. We know that's not going to happen. So a very, very strong sale throughout where we sell half, which I still think is unlikely, but it could happen. Only 14 or 15 of each legendary. Only 3 to 4 if like almost nothing sells. I'm thinking there's going to be about 5. A good range is 4 to 8. Now, one thing to keep in mind too, this is how many are possible. This is if every pack is opened, and we know not every pack is going to be opened. So even if we sell this many packs, that's how many could be in those packs. But they all have to be opened to hit these numbers. So remember, let's say we sell, what did I say? If we sell 675,000 standard packs, there's 844 black foils in them. Let's say 100,000 are left unopened. These numbers are going to be low. So this is a total amount I think that are possible, but what's actually on the market, let's have another column here. Let's just put how many are available, how many are actually out there. So I'm thinking for this, you're probably looking at maybe 80%. So I would say if you see 160 to maybe 180 on the market or in players' collections that they have opened, that's probably pretty realistic. The rares, let's say 35, I would say 35 to 50. Your epics, I would say probably 25 to maybe 40 on the market. And available here, I would say maybe 3 to 5. So this is what we're actually going to see is what's available. This is going to be what's probably in the packs that have sold. This is going to be what's available. So if you see a legendary black foil, even one that's not arcane, realize there's probably only 3 to 5 of them out there. Okay guys, there you have it. There's my best guess and estimates for the total number of black foil cards. Let me know in the comments if you kind of agree, disagree with the numbers, how many packs you think are going to sell, how many of each rarity do you expect there to be. And one thing I didn't go through in this video is price points. So how much do you think each of these cards will sell for? My guess in the beginning would be, since there's not going to be that many, I think commons will probably start 75 to 100 range and probably come down from there as more are opened. And then months down the road, once people realize how rare they are and that not very many are listed on the market, that price goes up. Rares, I think, will be 100 to 150. Epics, I would say 250 plus. And legendaries, I would say, are probably going to be minimum of 500 plus. And then once people realize how rare they're going to be 1,000 plus, even for the black foils. So that would be my guess. Okay, guys, there you have it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for all the support. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. I think I am one away from 900. So maybe you will be the 900th subscriber if you haven't already. On that road to 1,000. So here we go. And as always, stay the course. Keep on forging. Have fun. Can't wait to see you guys open those black foils and post some videos out there. Excited to see them. Okay, take care.